So maybe you're thinking about buying your first property. These are 4 things you might want to consider so you don't buy a complete dud. So the first thing is, where on earth in the whole of the UK are you going to buy? Because not everywhere is the same. And you want to go think about something called yield. What's the yield of that property going to generate for you to help you make your money work harder for you? Now, there is a whole video on this thing called yield and return on investment. Go check it out on our channel. The link will be somewhere in the comment box below. So the area is massively important because if you think about it, you could actually buy something and you can have a complete headache. And I meet many landlords where they haven't got the right knowledge or data, where they have bought a bit of a dud property. The difference is people with the right knowledge get some really good deals. Like all our properties, I'm really happy with them. They create great cash flow and they also make amazing homes for our tenants. So think about your area, like drive around at night. Think about the daytime. What's the footfall like? Are there burnout cars in the area? Are there helicopters flying overhead with the searchlight? Kind of for me, they're like, no go for our model. So you've got to decide what is your whole point of your buying this house. Is it a single let? Are you doing DSS tenants? Are you doing professionals? Are you doing families? But that'll drive your decision-making process to find your niche. We call it a goldmine area. So think about what is the good return that you're buying in that area? What's the purchase price? Because the entry point might be £500,000, it could be £50,000. There's a big difference, isn't there? And you've got to think, if I buy a £500,000 house and I'm renting it out, what is my return going to be? So remember, there is a video all about return on investment and it'll be at the end of the video, so do watch that next to deep dive into that specific element. So the area is important and who's going to manage it? So once you've got the area, is there a good managing agent to then give you headache-free, hassle-free ownership? Maybe you might be like myself though, we have our own property management team. I don't get involved, I do 35 minutes a week in that business, but ultimately I like to have it in-house because then we're in control more. But ultimately we teach on our courses, outsource and give it to a managing agent so you have your time back. So the area is important, deciding on the price point in the area, and also what's it like at different times of the day, what's the employment level like, what the house price is like, and what's the trend. But I wouldn't bank on, by the way, just the fact that they will go up in price, because we can't guarantee it. The market does this. So for me, we invest for cash flow. Remember that, cash flow. Cash flow is king or queen. So we're buying it for cash flow. What's it going to give us it back? And with that in mind, where are these properties going to be where we're not going to get nightmare tenants, we're not going to get huge burnout cars in the streets, we're not going to get headaches from police all the time looking for people. We're trying to de-risk it by picking a better area where the price point's right. So that's the first one. Point number 2 is how many people are actually looking for your rental unit. So maybe you're thinking, right, that's it, I'm going to do 3-bed houses, detached, but everybody's looking for apartments. So actually having knowledge, some data to inform your investment ideas is really important. So think about what is the demand for your specific property investment strategy. So I love HMOs, houses of multiple occupancy, and now we've got a fair few of them. And both on ownership, I own terraced houses, I own commercial HMOs, and I control using something called rent to rent, where we rent houses and rent them back out, doing the same model. Same principle applies. Where's the demand? Who's looking and how many people and what's the price point? So that's an important decision-making factor, part of where are you going to buy or control your next property. Now, point number 3, I'm not so bothered about this one because we can't guarantee it. I'd like it. It's capital growth. So maybe you're thinking, maybe I've spoke to people, maybe just like yourself, if this is you, where they say, I want to buy a house because I know it's going to go up in value. I'm not so bothered about cash flow. I'm like, my model is cash flow because you can spend it. I'm speculating on capital growth. Now, you'd like to think down south, capital growth is going through the roof at the minute, but actually looking at the data trends, it's slowing down, and the north, it's like a wave. The north is now increasing in value faster than some other areas of the south. So for me, capital growth is like a secondary benefit, but it's got to stack for us on the purchase right now. And does it cash flow? And there is a whole video on the 5 challenges on being a property investor and landlord, so do check that video out too, because that'll help you even more dive into this. Point number 4, what is the return on your investment? What's the yield? Now remember, we've got a whole video on that at the end of this video, but just think, is that property going to work hard for me in terms of my money that's in that deal? Now, that's for a whole new video, and we delve into this on our free events and even more so on our advanced level training, so do check us out. Now remember, this book is life transformational and it's live on Amazon right now for a small investment, and this will change your thinking on money and what the world's doing in terms of cash flow right now. So go check this book out.